Hey everyone, it's Andy and John again with Car Repairs Made Easy. Today we're going to do an oil change on a 2000 Cadillac Deville with a Northstar engine. Of course, you see we have the car jacked up so we can get underneath it, supportive jack stands. We have our drain bucket as always. The drain plug is back here. We'll start with that. It's a 15 millimeter. Just crawl underneath, break it loose. Why is that sloppy? And let it drain. It's always good to do your oil change with the engine warm but not too hot. It'll help the oil flow out better. Make sure you get your bucket positioned in a good spot so you catch all your oil. We're going to let some of it drain out. And there we go. This oil looks pretty dirty. I don't know if you can see that. She's due for an oil change. While this is draining, we're going to get our filter wrench, everything ready so we can take the oil filter off. You can see this car's got an oil leak. You got oil all over the pan. On these, it's typically the crankcase seals. Pretty big job, not something you want to try at home. It runs about, I don't know, like $2,500 at a dealership. So this one's not pouring on the ground, so we'll clean it off. She doesn't want to have it changed or repaired, of course, due to the price. So we're going to slide over here now that our oil's filling into our bucket pretty good. We have this is called a band filter wrench. It'll wrap around the filter and tighten so you can turn it. If you can't get it by hand, you should be able to sometimes because it should just be hand tight. But this one's got oil all over it, so we're going to use a wrench. Crack this thing loose. A couple turns and we'll be able to loosen it the rest of the way by hand. Spin it a few times, let the oil drain down, save you a big mess. So while this is draining the rest of the way, we're going to take a pause and we'll be right back to show you how to reinstall the filter the proper way. We'll put the plug in, then we'll go up top and fill it up. Okay, as you can see, all our oil's drained out. So we're going to put the drain plug back in. Here. Never use power tools to install or remove a drain plug. It'll strip it out and then you have a lot of problems. Have to have it tapped or maybe replace the oil pan, or it could even crack it if you do it too tight. So just get it down snug and then just a little bit more. Now we're going to put the oil filter back on, the new oil filter. One important thing to do is always look where you remove the old filter to make sure that the rubber seal, which is this here, is not stuck to the engine, because if it is, you'll wind up with two seals or two gaskets. That'll cause a leak, lots of problems. Big mess, actually. On the new filter, always lube the seal with a little bit of, you can use the new or old oil, it doesn't matter, just the lubrication, so that when you put it on, it doesn't pinch the seal. Then we just get it on there, spin it on by hand. Once you get it snug, just give it about another quarter to a half a turn. That should do it. Hand tight is more than plenty. You don't want to use a wrench to put it on. Now we're just going to wipe off, even though she's got a leak, we're just going to wipe off some of this to make it look clean. Clean it up. We got to wipe off our drips. And it's always good, if you're working on someone else's car, it's always good to kind of clean this stuff up for them. And of course, if it's yours, you want to clean it up anyway, so it doesn't drip all over your driveway or wherever you're parking. We get most of this wiped up, so it's pretty decent. We're going to go up top and we're going to fill her up. Okay, now we have our oil filter on, drain plug in, cleaned up the oil pan, wiped down everything, got all the old oil off from where the leak was, and whatever little mess we made. We've lowered the car back down off the jack stands. Now we're on a level ground. Time to put the new oil in. Well, this car takes 7.5 to 8 quarts of oil when you change the filter. When you're buying oil, it's good to buy, or cheaper if you buy it in a 5-quart container like these. Save you a few bucks there. And if you have some oil left over, you just make sure you've got it measured right. You save it because you're going to have to change your oil again soon anyway. And it works out good over a long haul. So now we've got our funnel. We'll just pour it in. These were brand new. We've already pre-measured this one so that we have approximately 2.5 quarts in here. So you don't have to watch us try to measure it out. We already know it's the right amount. So we can just pour this in. This customer requested a synthetic oil, so that's what we're using. This was their oil of choice. Once we get this poured in here, we'll start the engine for about 8 to 10 seconds, circulate the oil, fill the filter, and then we'll wait a couple minutes, let it drain back into the pan, and then we'll measure it. As you can see, these are kind of, when you have these 5-quart containers, especially on a car like this that takes more than 5 quarts, it's nice and easy. You don't have to mess with all the different small bottles. But if you use the small quart bottles, make sure you save them so you can put your old oil back in them. And usually your auto parts store will take them so it can be disposed of the right way. Now that we have all our oil in, we will wipe this off so we don't have a mess. Put our cap back on. It's always a good thing to look either in your owner's manual, or a lot of times like this filler cap has the type and weight of oil which the manufacturer recommends. Brand is sometimes important, like this is what General Motors recommends for this car, but really Mobil 1 is a synthetic oil, so you can pretty much use any fully synthetic oil in the car. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start this thing up for a few seconds and then we'll shut it off. And when we come back, we'll show you how to measure the oil level. Okay, now that we've ran the car for 8 to 10 seconds, we shut it off, let it rest for a couple minutes, and we're on level ground. We'll just grab our dipstick, which is typically yellow, sometimes it'll be black, or may just say oil right on it. Pull it out, don't worry about where the level is when you start, because the engine's been running, so it's higher than what it's supposed to read. Wipe it clean. What we're looking for is the oil to be somewhere in these hash marks. Closer to the end of the stick, below, which would be below the hash marks, means your oil's too low. Up here, anywhere up here above the hash marks means you have too much oil in, you have to drain some out. So we're going to put it back in after we wiped it off. We'll pull it out. And as you can see, right there's our oil, almost right in the middle. That's a real good measurement for the oil. You can do it twice just to make sure that you have an accurate reading. That's always a good idea. We like to do that. Maybe you didn't get the dipstick in all the way, so if it read low, you didn't have it in. Well, of course, it's going to read low because it wasn't in all the way. So we do it twice, and there we are. And that's it. So we're going to get the hood closed, call the customer, have them come pick up the car, and that is the oil change procedure on a 2000 Cadillac Deville with a Northstar engine.